Today we're unboxing not the sneaker of the year, but the sneaker of a lifetime. This, my friends, is the Air Jordan 4 Undefeated. So we're gonna start with the box first, go over the history, get through all the details, and trust me, sit down, kick your feet up, take some notes because we got a lot to cover on this shoe. So if you remember in the early 2000s, we had similar boxes like this with the all over silver boxes or the face boxes during that era. Now, years later, we're starting to see retros with those type of boxes coming out again. And this one only makes sense because back in 2005, we definitely saw silver boxes on sneakers. And with this being a 20-year anniversary, I like how they paid tribute to the shoe from then and now with the box style, especially saying that the original pair actually didn't even come in a box. It was more of a bag, but we'll get into that in a bit. So if you notice on the lids right here, you have 2005 and 2025 with the 20-year anniversary and the Undefeated logo and the Jumpman in the center of that. And on the size tag, it reads Air Jordan 4 Retro OG SP Deep Green Clementine Black, size 13, just for me. Now lifting open the lid of the box, you're gonna have a photo of the La Brea store here on one side of the card, and on the back end of the card, you'll notice it's more like a postcard, not really a retro card. Now again, you guys know I've been campaigning for the retro cards, but to even have something like this in there, I'm not mad at it at all. Now looking at the paper, you're gonna notice that you have an all over print, and you'll notice that it has two different logos, the Jumpman logo and the Undefeated logo. Now peeling that paper back, you're also gonna notice that the shoes come individually wrapped in white paper. This is a great touch, especially for a Jordan 4 with it being a suede like this. And opening that paper up, you're gonna notice you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ, and this is the DNA Show. Now before we get into breaking down all the beautiful details of this shoe, you know we gotta go over the history first. Back in 2005, we saw 72 pairs of the Undefeated Air Jordan 4s hit the streets. Like I was talking about earlier, you'll notice that the shoes actually came in a black zip-up bag. Now most people don't know or may not realize the Undefeated 4 was actually the first ever collaboration between Jordan Brand and a different company. I sat down with Gentry Humphrey on my podcast a while back, and we talked about this as well. So if you guys want to check that out, listen to the episode or watch it here on the channel, make sure you guys go check that out after this video. But we definitely did talk about the Undefeated release and the overall just shoe game during that time in 2005, because there was a lot of groundbreaking stuff happening in that era. Now another fun fact when it comes to Undefeated in this collaboration, they were sitting in the office out in LA, and Parker and Tinker Hatfield just happened to walk in. Next thing you know, they sparked a conversation. 2 weeks later, they have a shoe at their desk and they have their first sample. The original Undefeated 4 was actually inspired by the BlackBerry phone. If you guys remember, during this time, the iPhones weren't even out yet, and this was one of the shoes that was hot on the market. Everybody used to play Brick on the phone. I remember playing that in class when I was supposed to be paying attention. Good times. So the image that I just popped up looks very familiar, right? That's because it actually kind of got taken by Eminem when he came on a campus tour and saw that sample sitting in the office. Next thing you know, that became his personal PE player edition, rapper edition, whatever you like to call it during that time. And that was a pair that was then made in multiple sizes, but also gave out to select people and not considered an undefeated shoe. And after more conversations with James Bond, he decided to actually create a more of a similar version to their branding in their business. They had already had a lot of military inspired products, so they decided to play it off of the bomber jacket and use those type of colors and pattern when it comes to creating the shoe. And we definitely see and associate that olive green and that orange color to Undefeated as a brand. So during this time back in 2005, this was something fun, something cool, something dope. A lot of people were talking about it. There wasn't all this Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all this stuff. That wasn't around at the time. It was kind of word of mouth in the streets.
At that time, Jordan Brand was untouchable. Like, they wouldn't do anything with anybody. For a long time, it was like almost like some urban rumor. Like, there's no way. Like, I mean, I know we're all excited about Undefeated, but you guys are just throwing stuff against the wall at this point. Word got out it was for real. We saw an ad actually in a magazine, and it was posted online, and it was the actual photo of the shoe. And we were like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So we, over the next couple weeks and months, we found out there's gonna be a shirt. It's gonna be $50. It's gonna have a raffle ticket attached to it. The rules are you buy a shirt, there's a number, you keep it. Your number gets called, you get the shoe for free. It wasn't even for an opportunity to buy the shoe. It was just to get the shoe. There's even on the website, there was one size run of Undefeateds that they were going to auction off for people who couldn't come out to La Brea to go buy a shirt or Santa Monica. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that. And I'm seeing like, they're going like 2,000, 3,000. I'm like, oh my God. At this time, that's unheard of. Unheard of. It was absurd. And I'm like, these are a big deal. Like, to get this would be insane. Sure enough, the numbers get posted, and I'm looking, I look at the La Brea line, and I'm looking at it's 4-digit numbers. I'm looking, I'm like, nope. And there was only like a handful of them. Then I look at Santa Monica's list. and my number is the very first number on there. I'm like, you got it. So I'm scrambling. I'm like, I think that's my number. And I go grab my ticket, and sure enough, I'm like on some Willy Wonka, like I got the golden ticket.
The shoe was still going for money. It was going for a couple $1,000s at the time. And back in 2005, that was a lot of money. So fast forward some more years, and you notice that there had been a ton of other Undefeated collaborations, different sneakers, but there had never been another collaboration of an Undefeated 4 for the public. Originally in 2005, there were multiple sample variations that were created. We saw different types of materials, switch ups on the colors, on the color blocking, just slightly on the shoe. And since then, collectors have been going crazy trying to find their ways to get some of the rarest Undefeated 4s, because these shoes are going for $30, $40, $50,000 a piece. I have come across a lot of different variations of Undefeated 4s, had chances to get pairs from my collection, but it just didn't make sense. It's rare that I find a size 13 that's actually available. I feel like I come across a 12 way more often, and for some reason it just didn't make sense to put a down payment on a house or buy a pair of shoes. I feel like we're gonna lean a little bit more towards the real estate. So technically, yes, I could go and sell some shoes, trade some shoes, do whatever I need to do and own the Undefeated 4s, but for me it just didn't make sense. And when I found out about the retro, I was definitely very excited, because now I could attain the shoe for a way more affordable price. So if you remember, about 5 or 7 years ago, we saw a Undefeated 4 retro. They also did a M&M 4 retro at the same time. This was again a very special limited shoe. So just like the previous pairs, they didn't really come out to the public as a general release or a quick strike release or whatever you'd like to call it. It was more of a sample run. They had limited pairs. You only may see 50, maybe 100 pairs, something like that, and they trickle off out into the world. The collectors gobble them up through different auctions or different scenarios, like we saw the M&Ms through, I think it was a StockX drop that they did the M&Ms, but you kind of see where I'm going. I was actually talking to Perfect Pair when I was at his house some years ago. The origination of why they did that was because of Drake. He wanted to have the old pairs and he couldn't have them. He was hot with the brand, and they just decided to create him basically all the shoes that he wanted. So they remade him the M&M 4s, the Undefeated 4s, the Tokyo 5s. That's why we saw those retros during that time. Even notice the Tokyo 5s, there's an OVO pair that has that branding underneath the insole. Yo, just wanted to let you guys know real quick, we're getting very close to 400,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can get there and do this giveaway. Let's keep going on with this review. So for the past 20 years, this has been one of the most sought after, coveted, highest demand, most expensive, this, that, the other, the top, the peak, the that, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's not sneaker of the year. It's sneaker of a lifetime. We're gonna keep saying that because this has been a grail for a ton of people for a long time, and you could clearly see that when they did their release. There was a ton of action online. We saw from the raffles, all the people waiting in line in the different cities around the country, the special QR code drop in Chicago, how they decided to do the first drop there. It's been great to see all the energy all around the country and even around the world. So now that you guys know a little bit about the Undefeated 4s and how we've gotten to this point to this day, let's go ahead and talk about this beautiful shoe and show some of the differences between the other pair. Looking at the bottom, this is going to be similar to your OG. You're going to have your classic Air Jordan 4 outsole. You're going to have an orange pod with that herringbone traction in the middle, around the front end on the ball of the foot, and on the back end and around the heel, you're going to have that Nike branding in orange. Now going up to the midsole, this is going to be more of a sail colored paint, and that's going to be all in the same color instead of a two-tone wrapped around the entire shoe to the inside of the foot, and then you got your black rubber wrapping up with the black stitch around the toe. Now on the upper, this is going to be completely different than the original. If you guys remember, we talk about this in a lot of videos from the past. The Jordan 4s that were coming out in the era of 2005 to 2000, whatever that was, 2012 or something like that, a lot of those were more pancake down, more compressed, skinny, had a whole different cut compared to how they are created now. Now what they're doing in with all the Jordan 4s is giving us that 1989 Air Jordan 4 cut, and this is something that we all appreciate. Now some people, they're mad at it because they're saying it's not like the original, and other people are like, they're doing way better, these are going to be way more comfortable because of that, and they have been making the Jordan 4s a little bit more comfortable when it's on foot and everything like that. So for me, I'm not mad at this, and I like the take of giving us that new style and the new cut, and we've been pretty consistent with seeing that on all these retros over the past few years as well. Now when it comes to the materials, you're gonna notice you got that suede all throughout. The shoe feels good, it smells good, it looks good, it tastes good. I don't know, I didn't bite it yet, but I might have to take a bite of these. These things are nice, bruh. Now looking at the mesh and the nets, you're gonna notice you have that all over green as well on that area, and then you have your black TPU eye stays right here on the bottom and the top end of the shoe with the black laces. Now these do come with an additional pair of orange laces that's gonna match the back end of the tongue, the Jumpman logo, and the exposed air unit and the back of the heel. When it comes to the Undefeated 4s and then with the actual orange laces in there, there's something about it that just sets them off. Now continuing on with the tongue, again, you're gonna notice that you have that 1989 retro style cut right here. So that means it's gonna be the materials wrapped over to the back end. And this is more of a satin material all throughout the tongue compared to that suede like we saw on the rest of the shoe. Now, the part that we all love, and this has just been so great to see even on the rare Air 4s. I have the Tour Yellow Air Jordan 4s as well. This tongue patch, this is so beautiful. It's so great to see. So peeling the tongue patch off, you're gonna notice you have your orange Jumpman with your, it's like kind of like a dark gray charcoal flight stitch just below that. And on the tongue, you'll notice you have that green patch with the white text and it says Jordan Rare Air. Again, classic iconic hit to Jordan 4s. I love how this is a hit that they didn't do on too many Jordan 4s, and they kept this pretty exclusive to the general public, just because I feel like this is a feature that should definitely stay on only certain shoes, not just be on too many pairs. Like, it just kind of throws it off. It takes away from the whole rare air concept. Now looking at the back end of the tongue, again, like we talked about earlier, you're gonna have that all over orange right there, and then you have a black patch with some white text and it says Undefeated. Typically you have the Air Jordan branding there, but again, this is a collaboration, so I understand why they did that. Now looking inside of the collar, instead of a black, it's more of a, again, like that similar, that dark charcoal gray. And then looking at the insoles and the sock liners, you're gonna notice you got that polyurethane, great for the collaborations. We wish we could get it all the time, but again, I'm not mad because we got it on these. And on the sock liner, you have an all orange sock liner with the Undefeated logo on the right foot and the Nike Air logo on the left foot. Now speaking of Undefeated logo, if you notice on the left foot as well, you have this Undefeated logo with the Jumpman here on the hang tag. I saw people complaining because it didn't come with the metal beaded chain compared to the plastic chain. Everybody's complaining about something. At the end of the day, this is still another great hit. I'm not mad at it. Is it more convenient to have the other one? Yes, but if you have other Jordans that have it, then just replace it, switch it out, you'll be fine. Like, I think everything is okay. Now the other hit, like we were talking about, the Nike Air hit, this has been a crazy touch to the back end of the shoe. I want to talk about this because the original release, and we don't really see this like we used to see. They don't really create it like they used to. It used to be a suede, and then it had the TPU Jumpman in the middle of that with the stitching all around it, and that was the tab. They switched it with the Nike Air branding compared to the Jumpman. There was this whole rumor, we have to talk about this too. There was like this rumor of there was gonna be a regular pair and there's gonna be a friends and family pair. People thought the regular pair was gonna be the Jumpman pair, the friends and family pair was gonna be Nike Air, and then some people thought vice versa, the other way around. Friends and family one, regular the other. And then we saw that they're doing the regular pair with the other material, like the original sample, and they're doing the Jumpman on the back of those. Those are clean. I need to get my hands on those. There's not that many images out there right now, but you could tell from these right here, these are gonna be crazy. I have to get these. Now back on topic with this, like I was talking about, you had certain shoes like the laser pack or something like that. This is the difference between the materials and the execution on the back tab and everything like that. This is kind of stuff that we don't get that often anymore when it comes to these shoes. Adding the Nike Air back tab and having this area, great. I love it. I'm not mad at it. It's black. You don't have to worry about it yellowing. It might get ashy over time, but overall, again, I can't complain too much, but that would be something that I thought they would have done that, but it's okay. At the end of the day, the shoe is still great. Now also, if you notice with the back tab, you have that more of a matte finish on the tab, and you have more of a glossed text on the Nike and the Air branding just below that. And then also the same thing on the arm. It's more of a matte black at the top and around the lace holes, and more of that same shiny area here on the actual arm of the shoe, kind of similar to how they did it on the back. So those little details, I like how they paid attention to that and kept that consistent throughout the other parts of the shoe as well. So as you guys can tell, I'm excited to have this shoe. They look great on foot, they look good in hand, all the detailed shots. People say there's going to be issues with quality control. Everybody's complaining about something. At the end of the day, we're always going to find some nitpicks, but for me, this shoe is absolute fire. Sneaker of the year, sneaker of a lifetime, sneaker of a decade. It's up there. That's all I'm saying. So you guys know how I feel, but I want to see how you guys feel. Is this like one of those other sneakers where we have all this demand from previous old collectors, and now the new era, they don't really care as much? Because we saw the same thing. For some reason, everybody loved the Fear 4s, and then they came out, and now I'm seeing so much hate on TikTok why people don't like the Fear 4s. Again, not the same topic, not as drastic as the Undefeated 4, but you kind of get where I'm going, right? A shoe from the past, people loved it, and then now they don't really like it no more. So is this the same case, or do everybody like this shoe too? I posted a poll on my Instagram story, see if the shoe is fire or trash. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you follow me over there. This is what the people said. 96% of the people chose fire and 4% of the people chose trash. Typically when you see a percent like this, and I let this one marinate too, that means this is probably sneaker of the year, if not top 2 sneakers of the year. I think these are gonna go head to head with the brick by brick 4s just because of the new generation, the new hype, the new train of all that. But again, the grand scale of things, the brick by bricks may create that, but they got 20 years of work to hold that legacy. These Undefeated 4s, they've been here for 20 years and they've been strong for 20 years as one of the greatest shoes of all time. Literally one of the greatest shoes of all time, and grails and again, top of the list. We can make so many different lists. You're gonna naturally mention the Eminem 4s and the Undefeated 4s, which are essentially both from Undefeated, but technically one's from Eminem now. But again, we talked about that earlier. So those are my quick thoughts and impressions. I look forward to making any more reviews. If you guys have any questions about this shoe in particular, more TikToks, whatever it may be, I'm gonna have some stuff posted on Instagram as well that's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And again, if you guys want to see any more videos and you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, bruh. We're so close to 400,000. I'm ready to do this giveaway. Let's make it happen.
I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what I'ma wear today. I would never let you down, it's in my DNA. The only choice I like to make, what